Hello everyone and welcome. Yes, my name is Arrowfire. Welcome back to another episode of All Talk No Shock, where we are going through the third party panel at TFCon 2025 in Los Angeles. I would have done this video last night, but by the time it would have finished, wrapped up, and I got this video done, it would have been in the early hours of the morning. So here we are on a Sunday morning in the UK. Let's go through some of the slides that were shown at the third party panel yesterday in TFCon. No shock. So we'll start off with, yes, you guessed it, Maketoys with Shock Horror, Another Seeker. I'm just fed up with this now. I just don't know what to say. It's Wingnut Dye Job. It's another repaint of their Colorverse. Why? Why now? It's Thundercracker and another slightly blue Thundercracker. I don't care. None of us care anymore. It was a good mould. It has its day. Put it down. Move on. Get on with, I don't know, Highbrow. DX9 came up next. So they decided to show their Red Storm Sideswipe, which has already come out. I don't think this is to be a Legend Scale version. I don't believe. I think it is just their MP version that they have already released, which I've got and reviewed. But they've also used this to show an upcoming Prowl. It's mostly just CAD drawings, but there he is in his G1 guise. Very, very early days, but right at the very end, once you get past all the car images, you see a prototype image of what the robot mode's going to look like. Yeah, I can forgive that it's an early image and maybe not the best angle, but it doesn't look fabulous. It doesn't look super great. The head, the face, very unfinished is the word I'm thinking. So, but they're working on a Prowl. After the success, I suppose, of Red Storm, I suppose it's okay for them to go into other car bots, but this is what they're working on next. I still would like to see Fanstoys tackle Prowl next. Staying with DX9, we're going down to their mini size, and they're working on a Power Master Optimus Prime. This was a bit of a nice surprise. First image you see of Prime is very narrow and put together, whether he's just transformed that way. I don't mean the kind of the build of the arms, but it just seems very close to the torso. That's something that I can't help but look at. And as you go on, you see the other images of it being more Power Master-like, much more combined up. Power Master Prime very much a flavour at the moment in Masterpiece, Takara and everything else. So there's a few options to choose from. Does look nice in alt mode there, outside, and with his little mini Haikyuu as well. Also seeing good old Double Dealer there in his walking vulture bird mode. But also that it shows that you can allegedly get these other figures in the back of Power Master Prime, that it's got the ability to do so. Take that with a pinch of salt. We've been burned before, haven't we? That just because it looks like it comes out doesn't mean that a figure can go all the way inside a trailer. So that's what they're suggesting. But yeah, if you're a Power Master Prime fan, you're very much eating well at the moment. Colour images as well. Yeah, looking nice, but very, very early days. Standing nice and tall. Now this, I can't get my head around this. This is it's just listed on the slides as DX9 Mini 5AB Mini 6, 7 and 8. I'm thinking that 5A and B is Overlord. It's the only thing I can think with a tank and a jet. But DX9 Mini 06, 07, 08, are we going down... Are they just G1 bots? Is that Beachcomber, Mirage and... I don't know. I'm thinking... Getaway, the old Getaway toy. I'm trying to think of anything with that big, large spoiler. Are we going Target Masters, maybe? I did wonder if the bottom one was Sure Shot. I don't get it. I don't know. If anyone does, please leave a note in the comments, because I'm stumped. Collection Space is next. We've seen this one before, so I'm not going to spend too long on it, but this is their feminine-looking humanoid Starscream, or Star Queen, if I remember the name of it. I was really impressed with this when I first saw it being revealed at, I think it was the last TFCon, with some CAD images. I thought the design really worked. Very kind of hexadecimal vibes, if people get that reference. I love that femme fatale kind of look. I'm not wild at all on the skin colour face. The piercing red eyes is good, but if everything's supposed to be mechanoid, why has she got like skin tone? I find that weird. Wouldn't it made sense to have been... an off-white, a grayscale maybe? It's weird to have a skin tone to when nothing else does. You can take the wings off. It's very much got the slender look, even as much as having butt cheeks on the back of it. Yeah, let's sexualise the Transformers. Why not? I don't hate it, but I enjoyed it more when I saw the previous CAD images. Seeing it coloured up, it's not to say it looks bad. It looks like a very reflective paint as well, even on the grey used on the jet. I don't like it as much as I thought I would, and I've not really gone in for these kind of stylised characters for the slender female adaptations. I could have been tempted with this, but seeing this now, I'm not so sure. It could be for a lot of other people. Very Battlestar Galactica with its jet form, but probably not for me. And you see all the accessories it comes with, all the different faceplates. Yeah, it's fine, and people will buy it. It will sell. Newage were busy, weren't they busy at this one? They can do this, they can do repaints as well, so let's see what we got. It's starting with a very nice looking Trailbreaker. So of course, being Newage, they've got a few other ones to choose from. You've got alternative heads. It actually says here Trailbreaker with Alt Head 1 and much more of a toy deco on the go, looking very nice. But then you go into blue Trailbreaker, but you also have black Trailbreaker with an alternative head, as well as white Trailbreaker. I'll be honest, I didn't know there were so many versions of Trailbreaker, but I know the paint scheme has been used for the mould, or rather the mould has been used for different paint schemes with other companies as well before, so it's no surprise when it comes to Newage. But it looks really cool, and again, Newage are not stopping there, they're going into Stunticons and another combining team. Well, that's very nice. That's very good, and I think they've got it done, or will hopefully get it done before Rising Force finish theirs. So we have Maximum, Death Race, Hitcher, Rate and Bullet being their Stunticons. You actually see them in vehicle mode as well as the robot mode at the back. No word on the combined form as of yet, but yes, this is their Stunticons Newage Overdrive, which will ultimately be the Menasor. We're also seeing, we're not done yet, Sunstreaker with H69 William, looking very nice, particularly nice in robot mode, but also Dick. H71 Dick is their side swipe, very dainty, very small looking, but does come with a detachable jetpack which will fit on the back of their Optimus Prime. Nice to see the two together, and they've done this brilliant image of all their releases so far with Trailbreaker in there, showing all of the Season 1 cast, and that's a nice badge to reach, isn't it, that you've done all of these characters. I'm not a big Legends collector. I've always said if I would be, I would have gone in for Newage. I do like that. I'm pleased for them. I'm pleased for them that they've done all of the Season 1 cast, and it's kind of a real mark of achievement for them to do so, which, hey, Fanstoys haven't done that, Takara haven't done that, so yeah, fair play to them. I know they're working to a smaller scale and lesser budget, but they've done well to reach that milestone. Fair play to them. Mechanical Skull Studios. So, yeah, we've seen this before. This is going to be Armada Ramjet. We've seen this tease before, but maybe not in full colours. I do really like the white that's used on it. Not that I'm interested in this particular design. It's based, of course, off the Armada Starscream and other seekers and representatives of, but the white is very well used here. It looks very bright, very vibrant, and the other colours just being the accents to pop for it. So yeah, that's good. It's got all the typical toy features of the shoulder cannons coming over the back of it, but we're keeping with the Armada universe, and we saw this at a previous TFCon as well with their Demolisher. I'm really pleased for this because it's a character I'm quite fond of. I love the head sculpt on it. I even love the hands on it. Kind of bulky, chubby fingers on the go. Demolisher is a character that's just well underrepresented, I think. I think he needs a bit more going for him. I think this looks really cool. I could even be tempted to pick it up, even though I'm not a Legends collector. But yeah, he's looking very nice, very poseable. Love the grimacing face and all of the articulation that comes with it. The tank mode looks very nice, along with his little Minicon compatriot as well. It's a good alt mode, isn't it? A wheeled tank turret. We've certainly seen worse, but it's nice to see actual progress. The last time this was revealed, it was just in polystyrene foam, effectively, and now we've actually got a grayscale prototype. So good on them. Touch Toys. I have absolutely no idea who this is, but these are not Transformers characters as such. They are transformable figures going from real world military vehicles into robots that would represent it. Very much Bayverse like, but not based on actual characters. So we start off with Where are we? Apparently this is Carefree. The first one is the Jet. It does again go in for that Bayverse design. You can imagine it. I don't have much time for these. I don't see the point. I use the term emotional connection quite a lot. Whilst they look really, really nice, and particularly the aggressiveness of it, I feel it's just making a Transformer for the sake of a Transformer, however good it looks. And I think these do look really good. They do look like military vehicles, but I don't know. No one's necessarily crawling out for these characters. And I think the alt modes look better than the robot mode sometimes. I feel that's where the focus is. And as good as they look, and they do look good, if you just want a military jet, buy a jet. Buy an Airfix kit, maybe. They look really cool. But I just don't have any connection to them. But there's at least 4 characters that they've released. A couple of jets and a very nice missile launcher. This looks more bomber-like, very Blackout-like. But I don't think we got too many images of that. Unique Toys. Hello, old friend. Where have you been? Unique Toys are back with a new logo. It's been a while since we've heard from them, since really their Bruticus didn't do that well. Representatively, it's been kind of shoved down the market. But we are here with their Red Destroyer, Stinger, from the live-action movies. I'll be honest, I can't remember this character all that much. Probably was a point where I was starting to wane with the live-action movies, but what looks like it's turning into a Pagani, maybe? I've got to remember. There it is, standing alongside Bumblebee. Again, early prototype, but very nice production shots. I love the kind of red and black backdrop it's used. When you see the back of the robot mode, it's very busy. I suppose that's Bayverse down to the ground, but that's a lot to try and house away into a very compact sports car. So I hope that transformation is not going to be a nightmare. I don't really have a desire to pick this up, but if you're a fan of all the characters from the movies, and I know there's some of you out there, then this should be in your collection, or imagine it will be. Magic Square. Again, I'm not going to spend too long on this first bit because they're showing their MP scale Onslaught. We have shown this recently. It's actually up for pre-order. I have ordered this off Show Z. Very much looking forward to it because aside from Razorclaw, Onslaught was my next favourite Decepticon. So I'm really, really pleased with this. I hope it is better than their Swindle because if you see my review on that, I was not a fan of that Swindle. But I love that orange visor. Yeah, he's coming through from the G1 cartoon and I'm here for it. It's a character I'm really interested in. But as I say, we've seen these images before. Love that kind of camo used on the hood of the truck tower mode. I'm never really sure what he is. And there he is in combined mode as well. Also, with Magic Square going down to a much smaller scale, we see the last 2 of their Dinobots being teased and showing their Swoop. Swoop looking very nice. I love that sculpting, particularly on the face. Looking very clean, nice big wings, just hitting the right notes, doing what it needs to do, very compact. Magic Square, very nice. Snarl as well. Maybe not as polished, but maybe that's a bit more akin to the character. Very square chest, very big boy. Looks good. You know, if you're in for this set, and there's a lot of debate as to whether you want to be in for Magic Square's Dinobots, Newage Dinobots, or both. There's quite a bit to choose from, and I don't think there's a lot between them, which is good. It's only good to have choice. But then Magic Square, how did you do this? A 6-changer? It's a 6-changer with 6-shot in Legend scale. I don't think we've ever seen the like. Well, that is going to be interesting. Looking very clean. So this is going to house a gun, a jet, all the other ones I'm going to forget to mention what he turns into. But 6-shot, a 6-changer in Legend scale, and to be that slender. All right, that was brave. I don't think many Masterpiece companies would have done that, let alone Legends. Okay, well, we'll see how it goes. Looks very nice, very clean. Fantastic model, Fanstoys. You're going to have a go at Sideswipe, are you? I wish you told me that. I'm actually a little bit annoyed at that because as said, we're crying out for a new Sideswipe. And we're finally getting one with DX9. I thought it was fine, it will do for now. But I am waiting for Fanstoys to come along and do it better. And sure enough, they're going to do it. I do believe that this is just in response to DX9 throwing it out and they didn't want anyone else taking their slice in the market. I do believe that. I know they're working through the Season 1 characters anyway, but there was no mention of this, so suddenly now, and this is where I'm getting to with this. I'll maybe say this at the end of all the Fanstoys panels, but yeah, Fanstoys, who have been a bit quiet at the previous TFCon third-party panels, showing not very much, possibly this time stole the show with what they showed. They showed quite a bit. So anyway, let's get on with Sideswipe. Looks very nice, just what you'd expect really. It's a CAD drawing, very, very early. But they're intending for the wings to come up, the hood to come up, looking very nice, very clean. That expression, the right sculpting and proportioning, I feel this is going to be a must for people's collections even. I just feel that they'll do it right. That I think that DX9 just didn't hit all the notes and all the marks. But they also tease their red alerts, which they were going to do. They turn into the same mode, alt mode anyway. I'm not as fussed for red alert. I've got the Takara one. Maybe I'll get it, but I'm not desperate to. It's not a character that I'm as strongly connected to as I would be Sideswipe. But they share very similar engineering, so apart from the alt modes, it's really just a couple of lights on the top of the car, but it's the same alt mode. It looks very nice. He's a bit more arm baggy with his side doors, but they do look really cool together. Now we'll go into Fanstoys directly with some Constructicons. So we know, well, Scrapper's obviously already out. Right, the Scavenger is coming out imminently. And now we are on with Gordy, Hook. Why again are we doing this half and half? Why is this top half completely painted and done? And it is completely painted and done. Pins are in and everything. And the bottom half is just grey. What is up with this? If it's that, you wouldn't just do half a figure and put it down, finish painting it. You wait till it's completely built and then paint all of it. I don't get why they're doing it this way. Very nice head sculpt, very grimacing, couple of faceplates on the go. It still has that very tall standing vibe, but I don't know, it's got a bit more to it to look at it maybe. I wouldn't say it's got the slenderness, but of course Hook does turn into a very compact part of the combiner, so it doesn't have to be a stocky leg like Scrapper does. Scrapper was just blocky and square. I won't be told otherwise. Said as much in my review. It was nice, it was built well, but it was very, very square because it was to be a leg. And I feel from at least looking at these, Hook doesn't quite come across that way. Hook's alt mode does look a little bit basic because it always was. It is a crane, but it doesn't look very imaginative. It's kind of got 2 diagonal cabs and 6 wheels, and it's just very... Apart from a crane, there's just not a lot going on. And yes, okay, he is a crane, but I don't know. It doesn't... It never did much for me. But I like the fact it comes with its own little hook, as it were, on a piece of string. So that's going to be nice to actually do that. It does look very similar to the original G1 toy. This was also shown with the not remaining 2, but other 2 to come out. We have Longhorn, we have Mixmaster alongside Hook. So... let me say about Longhorn. To give it his proper name, Calatrava? Calatrava? I'm not going to pronounce that right. I don't think this looks great, straight away. I can see that Longhorn has been sacrificed. He's far too slender, he's far too rounded, his head, his eyes, very Season 3, in my mind, if you know what I mean by that. Longhorn should be probably the biggest of them all. He turns into the biggest alt mode, he makes up the torso of the combiner, and very much just by his nature he should be the stockiest. And I feel when you look at some of these images he's been shaped down. When you say have the individual modes been sacrificed to make the combined form, straight away from this I can tell they have. I think they've really rounded down the bulkiness of Longhorn, and you'll see why when we get to the combined image later on. Otherwise, I think it looks really good. It's got that same level of articulation. There is a CAD mock-up of what it's going to look like colour-wise. Look, Fanstoys, you're going to have to do so well to beat Big Load from X-Transbots. That's such a good figure. And I do think you've sacrificed this one. We'll see. Proof will be in the pudding. But again, look at the alt mode. Just very stumpy. Again, that just screams that he has been sacrificed of the 6. Going on then, Hadid? Mixmaster. Mixmaster, I'm not such a fan of that murky face. I feel the mouth is really stretching out either side of it. Also, he's got no feet. But otherwise, I love the shouty face. That's really, really cool. Very expressionate. Nice posability going on. You can see the same level of engineering, same shoulders being used, so it's largely going to articulate the same ways as other releases. Alt mode looks fine enough. Again, I do think Mixmaster's particularly front cab section doesn't do an awful lot. It would be cool if that cement tank actually, I don't know, can spin and maybe pour down to be like an actual cement truck rather than just being static. And that's what it looks like in leg mode, at least in a CAD drawing. It shows you then when it comes to how you can store it in robot mode. If you want the hood up, the hood down. I always quite like the hood up, surprisingly. I think it just gives them a bit more detail going on. And then Gargantuous. We're getting a bit more of a look at it with only Bone Crusher to go. So this is shaping up very, very nicely. Very, very big. I do like it. I do like there, just looking at the bottom of Mixmaster, he's got a tiny little toe at the front of it. That's a nice little touch. It is shaping up very, very nicely. Now, look at the back at Devastator here. If Long Haul, I think, was going to be a truer reflection or a big scale, everything at the back here is very being built within itself. The legs, from Scrapper to the thighs, it's all fairly similar. It's all fairly stocky, very symmetrical. And I think they've effectively shrunk down Long Haul to keep it in line with everything else. I think if you're going to have a big dump truck with big wheels, think of what a real life Long Haul would look like in comparison to other vehicles. Long Haul would be the biggest, but you can't imagine this big dump truck hanging off the back of a combiner. It would look unsightly. So I really think he's been sacrificed and compressed down and shrunk to be more in keeping with, say, a Scrapper leg and a Mixmaster leg. That kind of cylinder-like almost, to be no wider than that. And again, to be in keeping with Hook, which of course is just a crane hinging back on itself. But that wouldn't be a true representative of a real-life dump truck. So I do think he has been sacrificed for that. That being said, this guy does look brilliant. And I think he's going to stand so well. I can imagine it being really heavy, though. It's showing that you can have a bit more of a condensed flying V chest piece, or you can have it a bit further going out slightly towards the arms. Interchangeable heads, so you can have visor eyes or singular eyes, because he would change in the cartoon. This face, I don't know what he's doing there. Is this when the Dinobots come out the shuttle? Is that to be that kind of, looking at the sky? Shouty face is probably how you would have your Devastator. I can't imagine him being too happy too often, but they've done really well. There's good flavours to choose from there, and he's also going to come with drill hands. So it's ticking all the boxes. It does look really good. The angry face is really selling it. Fanstoys probably did steal it this year, but again, right, they're very quick to turn away from all the stuff they've done. Where's Chrome Dome? Any more on Chrome Dome? What about Fort Max? Are we even still doing that? You know, we had trouble getting the combiners out. We're still a little bit iffy on Menasor. We're nearly finishing this one. And then, look, remember Berserk, Blitzwing is still around. And then, look, we can do Sideswipe next. I think, okay, great. You showed Chrome Dome ages ago. Are you even going to bother with that? So, I don't know. I feel like that this is where Fanstoys just goes a bit too much too soon. And yes, they deliver. They do throw figures out quite a lot, in fact. But finish the ones that you promote. You know, at least just give some updates, particularly on Fort Max. How is that even progressing? MMC next. Bit limited by them. They showed a repaint of their, I think it was their Jaguar, was it? I've got it, for their Ravage. Shadowfang, a recolour. Again, MMC, I think was Ocular Max, I think was a little bit tame this year, and they teased doing a wrap back on this larger scale a little while ago, and there's been no update on that. So that's a little bit disappointing that they're kind of going down a repaint view. Repaints generate money to promote and keep the business ticking. Yeah, I can see it. I don't really get why Ravage is green, Shadowfang is green. I don't see much of a point. Is it to be an Autobot version. But yeah, repaint nevertheless. Drifts, we've seen this before. This is IF02A Stray, more of a Japanese drift style, with the stickers on the car rather than a bland white mode. That's just the 02 version. Looking very good. I don't think this is far away from being released, so that looks nice. And again, MMC have shown more of their Devastator with their next release. One of their next releases, which will again be their Scavenger. And of course, this does have rolling treads, which does look very nice in alt mode. I will say that. The robot mode, Scavenger never had the best alt robot mode, did he? Well, what's his name here? Obsizer? Mining and Salvage. Okay, and this is with the Combiner. Now again, as I understand, the Combiner of their Devastator was actually there in this kind of prototype form, but painted. I'm a little bit annoyed with MMC. I think they should have got at least one of these figures out by now. If you've taken your combined form to conventions and shown that, wasn't it Mixmaster was going to be the first one out, and now they're showing what another one could be, but I don't think any of these have hit shelves yet. I don't think any of them have been released, unless they're planning on doing a gift set release, a box set, which, fine, if that's the case. I don't think it's been said as much, and it's not how they've done business before. But, you know, just get this out by now. Just get A figures out, get the ball rolling, because we're well into Devastator Wars. You know, there's other choices, so they can't exactly wait for a sweet spot. They should at least have some of these on the shelves. Fans Hobby, quite a bit from them actually. So we have, I think some of these we have seen before. So this is their Poseidon Blade in a Nemesis colour scheme, black colour scheme, which of course is just a big chunky robot that splits in half, very akin to the original toy, and goes with their Poseidon Commander to make a very nice looking, love that kind of inner gold Poseidon Commander with Poseidon Blade. Very nice. The Fans Hobby doing Fans Hobby things, really, big bots that combine to make bigger bots. This I was a little surprised with, because I generally just thought this was going to be a shattered glass Jetfire from the Armada series, which they've already released. But it actually is Astro Flame, and look at the head, it actually is Astro Train. What a great use of the mould. So I don't recall Astro Train actually being in the Armada series at all. It was just Jetfire in that very chunky jet, and it doesn't turn into a train, but that's a great use of a shuttle, isn't it? Turn it purple, very purple, and stick Astro Train's very G1 head on. I think it's a better use than the mould. I was tempted to get it. I had it on pre-order for Jetfire and I cancelled it. I didn't like his shoes. It did look like he's just got slippers on. But I do like the shuttle, and that purple paint scheme, well, really the Astro Train paint scheme is making it. I love the white accents on the wings. Yeah, that's quite cool. I like that. And it's showing the purple team again. I think we've seen this before, but you have a Shattered Glass Optimus Prime, purple Naval Commander, purple X-Load, and then Astro Flame to go with it. And of course, you will know that they can all be combined and trailed and dragged along, and there they all are standing together because they all combine with one another, with Naval Commander, with Astro Flame to make the Super Optimus combined form, and then you can put Overload or X-Load on as well to have the real Super combined form. That's got to be so much weight, so much bot, isn't it? But again, Fans Hobby doing what they do. Metal Hawk. This was a bit of a nice surprise, and I believe it was there in Los Angeles in TFCon, and they've actually shown some colour images on it. Looking very nice, not really going for the big spot style, very slender by comparison. But Metal Hawk looking pretty good. I do like it. It comes with its Pretender shell. That's quite a nice little touch, and I think some people will really like that as well. Again, there it is. I don't know if that's just CAD or if that was painted in the flesh when it was actually at the convention. I think people will be getting this. It's a character that does have a bit of a fan base to it, but it's nice that they're going down a slightly different route. And we know what purple and green camouflage means, don't we? Yep. G2 Megatron. Lovely. I mean, I've got the original toy, and I'm so happy with it. But wow, we're going to do Fans Hobby G2 Megatron tank. That's going to be so cool. If it's anything like their Meg Tyranno, their Armada Megatron, this is going to be brilliant. So I don't know what to say, really. That's going to be really cool. But I like the working on it. Fans Hobby they don't sit on their laurels too long. I thought after Tidal Wave things might start to slow down a bit from the Armada side. And okay, this isn't Armada, but they've they found other things to get their teeth into. And I like the fact that they don't just do like another Devastator like everybody else. That does look really cool. And that's it. I do think Fanstoys did steal the show a little bit. I think they showed a lot there to get your teeth into. Their Devastator is taking up a lot of their time, and they're pushing to get a lot of these figures out. They're going down, throwing out another Sideswipe just because someone else did. That's not uncommon of Fanstoys. I was quite pleased with the Mechanical Skull Studio Demolisher. I thought that looked really cool. I'm not that fussed of a DX9 Prowl. I can let that go by. Yeah, for Sideswipe, I will get the Fantastic Model version because I think it can better the DX9 offering. I do wish Fanstoys, though, would just kind of finish off with one thing, but they want to particularly carry on with the Devastator Wars that's going on at the moment. Disappointed with Maketoys not showing anything more of highbrow. They're just letting us down with more and more repaints of the same Seekers. It's just tired, it's just old. MMC not releasing any individual Constructicons, I thought, is a little bit lame as well. I think they need to get at least one of them out now just to get the ball rolling. It would be cool to see maybe a few other things that we saw. What was the previous one? Was it Bingo Toys who showed the Technobots? Or was it Craftman Toys? I couldn't remember the name of the company, but we've had a few things that just pique a bit of interest. I'm not unhappy with what was shown. I was glad Fanstoys showed a bit more of an offering. There's a few things to get your teeth into. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and hit that subscribe button because I will see you on the next one.